Hold on tight to your candles as you make your way through the dark. This is our review of The Night Cage.
The Night Cage is a cooperative tile placement game about making it out of a creepy labyrinth, and I like how it really taps into that primal fear of the dark.
I like the theme, I like the mechanics, but there are a couple flaws that bring down the score for me. We'll tell you all about it after this quick how to play.
Players work together to collect keys and make it through the gate tile.
On their turn, players can move to a new location and draw a tile to see where they're going. Their candle will light up only the tiles around them.
When players move away from a tile that is no longer lit, it is removed from the game.
Players need to reveal key tiles and then move onto that tile to get the key. Each player will need a key to end the game.
Once each player has a key, they will need to find a gate tile and get to it in order to end the game victorious.
Sometimes wax eater tiles will be drawn and played. The wax eaters will attack the players and make their candle light go out.
If players don't get enough keys, all the gate tiles disappear, or they end up in the darkness with no new tile to play, everyone loses.
We came across this game when we were at Origins one year. We were just walking around and I saw it, and I had seen it on social media before. I'm like, oh, that game looks interesting. And we didn't have a ticket to play, but they had enough time to let us sit down and just play it. And I really enjoyed it that first time that we played it. So I was like, oh, let's get this game and then we'll review it on the channel. And I'm glad that we did, because playing it again, I started to realize, okay, that first time that we played with a random player, it was me, Lee, and some random person, and we did really well. We won quickly and it was fun. And then when we were learning the game and playing it a few more other times once we owned it, I was like, this game's really difficult. It's like we didn't win quite as often, so I'm thinking maybe they stacked the tile deck for us to make it more fun while at Origins. We still won a couple times, but this game ended up being a lot harder than originally I remember it being.
One thing that really caught my eye and just I couldn't get out of my mind is just the theme, right? Like the night cage, you're in the dark, there's, I imagine myself holding a little candle, walking around, and it's like, huh? Like really lighting up your way. So as you're moving the pieces around, it really goes with it thematically, where you're like, okay, I'm here. Okay, what's lighting up around me? And then you try and figure it out after that. So I think that's really fun. When your candle goes out though, that seems even more terrifying, because you're like, I know I have to move. And if I move here, is it a monster? I guess we'll see.
Yeah, the theme is really well done. It kind of reminds me of the movie Cube, where they're trapped in the one room and they got to get from room to room to room. Kind of like that, without all the torturing and stuff in here. But you move from room to room, and yes, you do have the wax eaters, but for the most part, it's just a labyrinth, a maze, a tile placement. You're moving around, and it's cooperative, so you can help each other out. They do have a variant where you're supposed to keep quiet unless you're in similar rooms, which I think is the best way to play this game, because otherwise the quarterbacking can become an issue. But you're moving from room to room, and you got to keep drawing tiles until you all get a key, and then you need to have a gate. So if you draw that gate before you get all tiles, it's like, well, does one person just stand on the gate and wait for everyone else to get keys, and then we'll have that gate so we don't lose that gate? Or do we like, all right, we'll lose that gate and we'll hope that we'll find some of the other gates and we can keep moving around. So there's a lot of strategy, and it's a good implementation of mechanics with theme. I think they all go well together.
The point of the game is to explore the labyrinth. So you're trying to get tiles, but at the same time, you're trying to not get attacked. If you get attacked, you got to throw away random tiles. And if you happen to throw away key tiles or the gate tiles, and let's say just luck of the draw, you throw away key tiles, and then there's 6 in there, but there's only 4 of you, and you threw away 3, then it's like, well, there's really no way we can win the game if no one has a key right now. So set it back up.
Yeah, the game is very difficult, because if you run out of key tiles before everyone has a key, or you run out of gate tiles before everyone can get to the gate, you automatically lose. Plus, if everyone does get a key and you can't get back to the gate because you run out of tiles and then you just can't get there because there's no more path to make, then you also lose. There's a lot of ways to lose in this game. And that's just the standard variation. They also have some more advanced versions which have different monsters that you can play with, and they have a really giant monster called the Dirge that you can play with that makes it even more difficult. We played with the standard one, and even that was difficult enough, even with all of us using our brain power to figure out, all right, what do we all have to do?
And talking, right? So like you're in a labyrinth, it's just echoing, hey, I'm going over here, here, here.
Where's here, here, here?
Someone can help me.
One of the reasons why this can be so difficult is the luck of the draw element, which I think that they could fix and make this game a lot better. When you're stacking the tiles, there's like 10 or 11 tiles on top that you start with, so that everyone can build their starting spot on the board without having anything good or bad happen to them. No keys, no gates, no monsters. It's just gonna be pathways. But then other than that, it's all random. So if you put all the gates up front and then someone has to wait on that gate and that person's just kind of stuck for the whole game, and do they stay and end up having to get rid of other tiles to stay and not move on their turn? Or do they move and then the gate is lost and then you immediately lose? Or all the keys could be at the bottom, so you're traversing around the maze just trying to reveal tiles just to get to the keys, and they're all at the bottom, so by the time you do have those keys, there's no more tiles to then get back to the gate, so then you also all lose. So the randomness of how the stack is formed can make it either really easy if they're all up top and you just go real quick, which I think is what happened when we were at Origins, or they're all at the bottom. If you get really lucky, it's a nice disbursement, hit or miss. It's either gonna be really easy, really hard, or probably how they intended the game to go. So you have 3 options, and I'm not really a big fan of that.
The biggest thing that terrified me is just when your candle goes out, because thinking about the variant you were talking about where we can't talk if we're in the same room. So like you're just alone in the dark, like going just one space at a time. How does anyone know where to find, hey, I'm coming to get you, like go left so I can come to get you faster or something. So I don't know. I really like that mechanic, because once you're next to someone, then they can relight your candle and then you go along like adding paths and playing like normal. So I thought that was really fun. It's just, it's when your candle's out and everyone's on the other side of the board or still pretty far away, it's like, I'm afraid to move, but I also have to move. I don't know. Overall, I really like just the dark theme, right? Like, no pun intended, like not just like being in the dark and stuff, but just like the demons, okay, you're in the darkness, you only have like the only little light you have is lighting your way. I thought that's really fun. I really like the theming of it.
So I also agree. I think the theming and how it intertwines with the mechanics, they did a really good job with that. What did you not like about the game?
One thing kind of threw me off a little bit was it has to be at least a 4-player game. So one game we played with 3 people, and then whenever it came time to the 4th turn, it was like we switch on which one moves that 1-player piece. So that was kind of...
Yeah, you can play the game with fewer people, but then you end up playing as the 4th person. Or if you're playing a 2-player game, you each play as 2 people. So you always have at least 4 candles, but the player count, or if you're a 1 player, then you're moving 4 candles. So it's always 4 candles. So the thing that I didn't like, I already mentioned, I don't like the randomness of the tiles and how it can go on there. If you're not playing with the variant, this is a very heavy quarterbacking game, because the one person is, oh, go here, here, here. So one person may have that kind of vision of I could see how this could work and we can make this happen.
Overall, I had a lot of fun. I like the co-op aspect of this game. Yeah, there's some quarterbacking, but I think this is a nice, fun game whenever you're feeling a little like dark and dreary. Like, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and play this. So probably normally around Halloween, maybe I'll feel playing this again, but I'll give it a 6.
Overall, I really enjoyed this game. I like how they intertwined the theming and the mechanics. I enjoyed it a lot more the first time we played it, when it was a little easier than the other times when we played it when it was super difficult based on the randomness of the luck. So if they could work that out, my score might go a little bit higher. But right now, I'm gonna give it a 6. And that was our review of The Night Cage.
What'd you think? Did you find this game enlightening? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you're enjoying our content, please like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to watch more of our Halloween videos, check out the links in our description below.
Until next time, I'm Lee.
And I'm Kenny. And go party like a board gamer.